That down. Let's move over to basketball here for a second. It's been a very interesting year already. Like the last I checked, the Cavs are still undefeated, right?
15-0.
Yep.
They're honing in on that Golden State record now. Was what, 24?
24 or 25, I forget.
24 or 25 and 0. Maybe they can get there. I mean, there's been a lot of interesting stories so far this year, but this was interesting. Every major sport has a problem with how do you make the All-Star game interesting. NFL really struggled with that because players didn't even want to go to the Pro Bowl anymore. And so they made some changes. They made it flag football and stuff like that, which I actually thought was kind of fun and interesting to do. Baseball did something interesting a few years ago where they said, tell you what, let's put something on the game. The league that wins the All-Star game gets home field advantage in the World Series. Some people complained about that. I thought that was great. It actually gives something to legitimately play for in the All-Star game. And when there's something on the line, it makes it more interesting. Hockey has played around with the All-Star format, everybody. Well, now the NBA is apparently considering a revamp of the whole thing because last couple of years, people have not been happy with the All-Star game. Like, at all. Last year, especially, people hated it.
Yeah, it was bad.
So they're talking about playing around with it, and they're discussing a new format. Ryan, can you kind of break down for us what this format is?
So they don't have all the full details yet, but basically there'd be 4 teams of 8 players. So 3 of the teams would be the 8 All-Stars that get voted in. And then the 4th team would be whoever wins the Rising Stars game between the freshman team and the sophomore team. So then there'd be 4 teams, and then the example would be team 1 plays.
So if I understand this right, so 3 teams of 8 that are actually selected All-Stars.
Yes. And
then the rookie team and the sophomore team play each other, and the winner of that becomes the 4th team.
Correct.
So that you got like 24 legitimate All-Stars.
Yep.
And then either a team of rookies and sophomores.
Yep.
Okay. And that's the 4 teams you'd have.
Yep. So then like team 1 would play team 2 and team 3 would play team 4. And then whoever wins those games plays in the main game on All-Star Sunday to figure out who's the winner. So
Ray loves it.
They haven't said how the teams would be picked. Obviously they've done the draft before where the captains pick the teams and stuff. So I don't know how they would pick these teams. I also, like John and I were talking, there's rumors they might play all the games on Sunday. So everyone would play not everybody, but whoever wins would play 2 games. So the games would have to be shorter.
If you're the rookie, well, no, you play your rookie sophomore game the day before.
Yeah,
he plays,
which is Friday.
Friday.
Because in my mind, it'd be Friday they'd play, Saturday they'd play, and then Sunday would be the last game. But the thing I read said Sunday there'd be all the games. So besides the rookie game.
So you'd play 2 games.
Yeah. So they'd have to be like short games or play to a point total and it ends or something. I don't know. They haven't said how that would work yet.
That's
so
when they break it down, I like the idea.
Yeah.
But when you break it down, I'm like, oh, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
Never happen. Like the big debate is like, did this guy play every week?
Yeah. But part of the reason also is they're saying this gives more, I don't want to say screen time, but playing time and stuff for the All-Star weekend for all the players. Because on Sunday, when they play the game, there's some guys that play like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So now everyone gets a chance. And then with the rookies too, they get some more time. And who knows, like if a team gets hot from 3, anybody can win one of these games.
Yeah.
So there's that intrigue from it. But yeah, they're trying to make something more exciting because last year's game, which I forgot was 211 to 186.
Yeah.
Which sounds horrible.
Nobody was even trying.
Yeah, it's just a pull up from half court shooting fest. And nobody cares. So they need to do something. They also need to figure out what, kind of back to what you're saying, John, what do they get for winning? Is it just money? What do they get out of this? I think that's something they have to figure out still.
What's at stake?
Yeah, what's at stake for this?
Because I'll tell you what, one of my problems with this, and by the way, I applaud them saying we got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. I do. And even looking at this, I think, you know what? You're trying something. You're trying to mix it up. I like that. Now, one of my concerns I have about this format is like, say it comes down to the last game. That's what people are going to think of as the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this format, you're talking about that big final marquee game where if he's on the team that lost, Joker is not in that game.
Yeah.
Luka is not in that game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ant isn't in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, it's just that seems kind of weird that you're putting yourself in a position where you could get your final two teams, and it's not the most glamorous all-star team
Yeah.
playing. So that's one of the drawbacks I see with it.
It would, well, I don't know if it would make it interesting, but maybe it would. When the first games are played, it'd be interesting if the winning teams could pick the losing players for their team, like as a draft. So like if you're on the team that loses, John, and my team wins, I could pick you on my team, or Matt or somebody else, the leftovers from the previous. So everyone still gets a chance to play.
So now the
like
winning
pickup.
team gets, instead of 8 players, now has 9.
Yeah,
going into
or
the
however
final.
they pick 2 players. I don't know, 4 players, just so there could be well, crap. If LeBron and Jokic didn't make it, and I can get them on my team to win my game, then I'm going to pick them to get them on my team. So I don't know if they've talked about that, but at least that gives a little bit more players for the last game. It can make a little bit more intrigue and get more fan. Because if you're really like you're saying, if you're there to watch like whoever, Steph and all that, and they're not in the last game, are you going to watch it? Like some people probably won't watch it.
Well,
if their players aren't in there.
And the All-Star Weekend itself has lost a little bit of luster because
lot
I
of
think
it of luster,
the
yeah.
3-point shooting contest is still amazing.
Maybe
to
that's
see.
it. Maybe
But like
we just wipe it off.
the dunking competition is like
It stinks.
most of the people don't even compete in it anymore.
No.
So there's that. The All-Star game is just a bunch of guys casually running up and down the court and heaving up threes.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean, the dunk contest, it's not like they give the award to the actual winner. Ooh. What's up, Aaron Gordon? Shout out, Aaron Gordon.
Twice.
Got screwed twice.
Twice.
We
I
still
was like, I don't know
remember.
who we're attacking.
Yeah.
Somebody is a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
And I don't know
still
who
remember.
it is.
but I mean, look, is it crazy for me to say, because Ryan, you and I went out to dinner the other night
Yeah.
and we were talking about the NBA Cup, the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
And I was skeptical about it last year. I enjoyed it last year, but we were talking about it feels like there needs to be something a little bit more on the line than just a check for the players that win.
Yeah, then I don't know how to fix it then. 'Cause I'm thinking the more we talk about it, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely not gonna
It's like
happen.
Ryan brought up, like, say the team that wins the NBA Cup is like, hey, you know what? You automatically get home court first round,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
They should, but I feel like the same has to be done for the All-Star game. I feel like not if you win the All-Star game, you automatically get to the NBA final. Nothing like that, but there has to be something
Like a bye week.
something that has stakes, something that has
Yeah.
importance.
It's also a tough sell to, like, everybody wants to play less games, like the
Yeah.
schedule, and you're like, how
Yeah.
about we add 2 more in one day?
Well, yeah, the tournament added 2 games to
well,
certain teams.
they're gonna play those games anyway. They just
Yeah.
rebranded as like
Yeah.
these are special games.
Well, like last year, the Lakers and Pacers played 1 extra game
Yeah.
than everybody else for
Yeah.
that thing.
but that was like that was a big win for the
Yeah,
for the
woo.
Lakers.
Inaugural winners hanging in the rafters.
Yeah,
which they
and
did.
it broke.
I mean, listen, in the world of soccer, those in-season tournament
Yeah,
things
that's
are
important.
a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
If they can make that into something, because one of the things that I liked about it last year, I know we're supposed to be talking about the All-Star game, but still, one of the things I liked about
fine.
last year is that actually, in that early season, it actually made the games feel important. Because
Yeah.
in an 80-plus game season, it's hard to feel importance for a lot
Yeah.
of the games and stuff like that, but it actually gave some meaning
Yeah,
to them.
and a few of the basketball podcasts I listen to, and I've watched a few of the games, not just Laker games, but all the ones. And those games, they play harder. You can tell, like they're trying
Yeah.
to win. And also the thing is in the brackets, when it comes to like tiebreakers, you need to score more
Point
points.
differential, right?
So these
Yeah.
fools are like trying to run up the score at the end of the game to get extra points. So there is something going on with those games and the aspect of playing harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need to do something in the All-Star game. The other thing I'll call for the All-Star game is last year, one of the things that people liked was the Steph versus Sabrina for the
Yeah, yeah,
3-point. They're talking about adding Caitlin Clark and Klay Thompson.
No, listen, I
So-
1,000% guarantee you, Caitlin Clark is going to play some role
Yeah.
in the All-Star weekend.
So this All-Stars.
She was out drawing viewership
Yeah.
than NBA games. Like they're gonna bring her in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the lane that they need to go in. Like even when I was like, the NFL has the All-Star game, but nobody's ever given a shit about it. But I used to like remember like, give me that quarterback competition.
Oh, yeah, that
give me
was-
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
do this for a weekend and
Yeah.
give everybody the weekend off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, or something. Yeah, something like that. Something's got to change because even last year, I think it was last year, Adam Silver was like, "Well, you guys scored the most points." the game's over now. He was furious at the end of the game. So
me and
something.
Matt were talking. They did the thing a couple years ago where it was called the Elam ending.
Yeah.
Whereas like the last quarter, they took the point differential. I'm gonna get it wrong, but
Yeah.
basically, the only one team had scored at this point, and then you could meet them, but you're like lower, so there's more of a chance to catch up and win the game. And I thought that was cool, but they nixed that and they went back to the old school.
Yeah, everybody loved it, and they're like,
and then they
that's
got
it.
rid of it. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about the proposed changes to the All-Star Weekend? Maybe you're one of the 6 people out there who thinks, nah, All-Star Weekend is great the way it is. But what other ideas would you have about making the All-Star Weekend feel more important or more like something you'd want to watch? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts.